Welcome to the Futro Hidden Movie Gems podcast. I am your host, Cameron. I'm joined by Futro Hidden Movie Gems crew. We have Jordan.
Are you hungry, Jerry? I'm hungry. I'm fetching starving.
We're also joined by frequent guest Clinton Westover.
Does anyone know where the showers are?
Oh, yowza. The rating on the show just doubled.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Everything he says to that girl is
podcast,
amazing. Oh my gosh, so funny.
It's so painful.
Yeah.
Today,
give her mouth
on
to
the
mouth.
podcast, we're reviewing
Maybe I will.
Cube.
Hey.
Today on the pod, we're reviewing Cube 2, Hypercube, a movie made in 2002.
A masterpiece made in 2002, Cameron.
A dumpster fire made in 2002.
I just need to know, Cameron. Cameron, I need to know, does this time travel movie beat what's that movie you love?
About Time?
No,
Project Almanac?
Project Almanac.
If you even consider this movie a freaking time travel movie, are you kidding
Oh,
me?
100%.
Not even close.
Special effects, it's like you travel back in time to like 1985. Like the special effects are so bad.
It's so painful. So, just as a background, this movie was directed by Andrzej Sekula. And then the writers were Sean Hood. And then it stars Carrie...
My wife.
I don't know. Then...
Dude, oh my gosh, Cameron,
she's actually
she
kind of a
is
babe,
so
though. She's a
hot.
babe.
Holy crap.
She's a babe, yeah.
Wait, the main girl or
Yes.
what?
Yeah, the main
Okay.
girl.
Oh, you were talking about the other girl in the red dress?
Well, I was like, really, the freckle girl? All right.
And then Geraint Wynn Davies, Grace Lynn Kung, Matthew Ferguson, Neil Crone, Barbara Gordon, Lindsay Connell. And then a couple
Dude,
of irrelevant.
Simon and Jerry are my favorite. Oh my gosh, dude, I am obsessed. We'll get into him in a minute, but anyways.
Perfect. All right, we just want to go around real quick, talking about what it was like watching it for the first time, and then rewatching it for the pod. Starting with you, Clinton.
So I watched it for the first time just now with Alex. And, oh man, the whole time we were laughing. It's such a good movie. It's so funny. And it's so quotable. Like everything everyone says. They're like, I wish I was smarter. Or,
Yes! Yes!
Like, I was never very good at philosophy. Like how everyone just
What?
so confused.
He
the
says,
whole
what are you
time.
doing here? Oh, I was never really good at philosophy. Or what are we doing here? Oh, so good.
I know. And how it's like this big reveal, even though the whole time they're talking about like quantum reality overlapping, and they're like, oh my gosh, it's the same room. Like didn't we establish this in the first 5 minutes of the film that it's the same room? Anyways, I thought it was really funny, and a lot of the characters did crazy things that made absolutely no sense, which was great. like murdering people and eating them. Like it was like totally normal, and then he started killing everybody. It's like, what?
Hey, he's got to stay alive for all those, however long he's been there, dude. He got freaking white hair and his eye. Oh my gosh, I love
Yeah,
him.
that was so stupid. Oh my gosh.
Oh, I love that so much.
It was just a really fun movie. Yeah, honestly, so quotable.
Oh, snap. You thought you could start the podcast without me?
We did.
Perfect. We're also joined by former host Ty Christensen.
I actually don't know if we're discussing Circle or are we discussing
Cube,
Hypercube?
too. Hypercube.
Hypercube.
Dude, Clinton was just saying how much he
Hyper
loved it.
nothing. There's nothing hyper about this movie.
Oh.
He's
Clinton
so
was
dumb.
just going through all his favorite quotes. So quotable.
I just have to say, I wish I was smarter. That's all I'll say. I wish I was smarter.
What really? Yeah.
Are you hungry? Are you hungry, Jerry? Because I'm fetching starving. I get a mouth-watering feeling every time I say your name. Ah, Jerry. Ah.
I'm trying to tell Grant we're doing Circle in an hour. We're doing Cube first. We'll bring you on in 40 minutes. Or you can
Get
just...
off the podcast, Grant.
I'll just mute himself.
He just wants to listen. He finds us so entertaining. He's going to listen. He's going to be... Just so you know, guys, we have an active listener.
It's because he won't listen.
Podcast.
It's because he won't listen to the podcast otherwise.
Let's keep this rolling because Clinton's only got 15 minutes.
Oh, I want to do half an hour. I don't want to cheapen this film. You know, it deserves a solid 30 minutes.
Yeah, Ty, it deserves all our precious time.
Called sci-fi thriller, more like sci-fi crapshoot.
Oh, I love this movie so much. That was a bad burn.
Let's follow it up with Ty. What was it like watching for the first time and rewatching for the pod, or if it was just your first time watching for the pod?
You know, this is the first time I got through this movie. I did it just for the pod. I've tried to watch this 4 times. This is only like an hour and 30-minute movie, and it took me 3 different sit-downs to watch a 90-minute film. I just want you guys to think about that.
Hey, Ty, I watched this 3 times just for this podcast. You know why? Because it's a masterpiece.
Oh my gosh. We didn't already do our top 10 movies.
No, we're doing that at the end.
Okay. At the end, okay. I'm so glad we're doing that because, again, I want to say something positive about this movie. I don't like anything about this movie except I think of Jordan when I watch it, and I think Jordan would laugh at this part. That's it. Like, I'm like, oh, Jordan would find this funny, but I don't. But, like, Jordan would think this is so funny, like, or so clever. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, how can you not think it? Okay, greatest quote of all time. All right, we'll get in the film in a minute. I got so many good quotes. Oh, my gosh.
So, yeah, trying to watch a 90-minute film. I actually fell asleep to this movie 2 nights ago, and I finished it last night. So, jeez.
That's because your brain was just overloaded with so much amazingness. You couldn't handle it, and you fall asleep.
All I can say is 4th dimensional, and is that a woman or is that a guy's? Because holy crap, I'm not sure what's happening here.
Yikes. Did they just? My roommate turned to me because I watched it with him. I made him watch it, and he turned to me and he's like, "Did they just like for all eternity and just die mid space? Like, what is happening?"
With the dumbest O face, might I add, just stupid dried out mummy face.
It's just like
dried out mummy face,
spinning in the air. Oh my gosh, that's amazing! Like, how does that even make sense?
Why were they floating?
Yeah, why were they floating? I mean, it was visually cool though. All the like red cloth like flying everywhere and getting like all close in the shot.
It was something. I don't know if the word I would use was cool.
Oh, it was. It was a visual. It was visual brilliance, Cameron.
All right, Jordan. What was it like watching it for the first time and then rewatching it like 9 times for the podcast?
So first time I saw it when I was working at Apple, and I had seen the original Cube, and so I was like, I need to get. And I think I'd seen part of Cube Zero, and so I was like, well, I got to watch this one, and so I started it, and then by the end, I was just like, oh my gosh, how have I never seen this? This is the most wild film. Just like the concepts. I love movies with high concepts, but this one takes it a step further. It goes into theoretical constructs that are like way beyond like anyone's brain can handle. It does
it though?
Yeah,
it does.
It does. Dude, freaking this would make Christopher Nolan's head spin when they have the scene when they go inside the room and it's like time is different or whatever. I was totally thinking of Interstellar when they land on that planet, and you know how time's like going faster.
You're comparing Cube Squared or Cube 2. I don't know how to name this movie because it literally is
To
named
Interstellar.
Cube Squared.
I just threw up a little bit in my mouth.
Because this came out well
comparing?
before, and this has all the concepts, you know, that
Christopher Nolan drew all of his inspiration from the movie Cube to Hypercube. We just want that on the record.
anyways,
I think the person though that wrote the script did a pretty good job taking the cube construct and how like weird stuff going on with the cube, and then he put in different characters that had different roles. Like you had one person who was like the private investigator trying to figure it out, and you have another person who was like the military guy involved with the military side of it, and you have another person who actually like built it, and then you have like the psychoanalyst, and you have all these like different characters.
And then you have Mrs. Paley.
And then Mrs. Paley thrown in. But no. Her role was that
Why
she was
the freak not?
she was the mathematician. So she was able.
I thought she wasn't good at philosophy.
No.
You don't happen to know why you're here, do you? Oh dear, I was never good at philosophy.
Yeah. So
Eat dirt, Mrs. Paley. Okay, you had what's coming to you.
Yeah.
Worst movie character of all time.
yeah, she was terrible, and she had so many lines.
I
too.
wholeheartedly disagree. The worst character was easily the Asian girl. I wanted to murder her, dude. The entire show. From the beginning and then the freaking reveal at the end. You can't.
Quick question: Are we to assume that the only blind character or visually impaired person is an Asian? Is there anything more to read into that, or is that just my own racial tendencies?
I think usually in like old classical literature, the blind person is the one who knows what's going on and can see the future because they have like the third eye. And so
Either way,
yeah.
it's just another Asian I wouldn't want to see behind the wheel of a car. That's all I wanted to throw in there. So.
Jeez.
I was looking for depth in this movie. It was hard to find, but that's what I could scrape out of it.
Let me say what it was like watching for the first time for me. So the first time was the only time and will be the last time I watched this movie. And so similar to Ty, I tried to start it last night at about 11 and 45 minutes in. I'm like, I can't do this. So I fell asleep from 11 until about 1:30, and then some of my friends' roommates woke me up, just being loud, and then I couldn't sleep for 3 hours. And so at 4:30 in the morning, I was like, you know what? I don't have anything better to do. Might as well finish this movie. So talk about adding to the experience of the movie, watching it at 4:30. Holy cow. It was just even more of a trip. And I'm just like, what is happening? Questioning reality, questioning why everything exists. But overall, yeah, definitely it was an experience, and it will be the last time I ever watched this movie.
Yeah, every 50th anniversary on the pod, Jordan will make us watch this again, and we'll vote you off the podcast, Jordan. It's as simple as that. Oh my gosh.
Yes. Okay. Perfect. So, starting with two of our favorite things about this movie, we want to start with Clinton.
Well, this is gonna be a very short go around here.
Favorite.
Yeah, Clinton, why don't you name all of your favorite things from this movie? I bet you can't even get it up to 2. Okay.
So 2 things that I really like. I like that they never explain the beginning with all the like people covered in plastic, as well as the end with the military shooting her. Like zero explanation. It's like,
And did they CGI her getting shot? Because it looked CGI'd.
I think if you're referring to like the environment they were in, it probably was
Green screen, yeah. It was a green screen room for sure.
Yeah.
No, but it looked like she was CGI'd. She just fell so unhuman.
I don't know about that, but I do remember seeing a really hardcore green screen when they had 2 or 3 or 4 of the cubes in one shot. There was very clear use of green screen. It was very distracting.
Very good. It was so good.
yeah. So they don't explain that. So they were trying to leave the audience like thinking and mystified, but in the end, it was just the audience was just like, what a stupid like shot. Oh my gosh. And yeah.
Quick question also. Okay, well, yeah, I can get into nitpicks.
No,
but yeah,
hold those.
Wait, let Clinton finish.
My other second favorite part was at the beginning where the girl's climbing through the cube, and then she all of a sudden falls up. And I was like, is this supposed to be scary? Like, I don't know what the point of this is. Like,
no, but later, you know okay, check it out. I've seen it so many times now.
Sci-fi thriller.
That was the part later in the film when what's his name, Simon grabbed her and threw her into the room. So that was just like it. Then finally, when time caught up.
Oh, I missed that. Okay, so see these story arcs like coming together. And the time
I will help
exactly
piece this
like
puzzle
Tenet.
Together.
Thank you. I needed.
Okay,
I needed that.
So deep.
IMDb
It's
has
as deep
this
as Tenet. It
listed.
takes multiple.
I can
watches.
answer all your questions, Clinton. Why did she die at the
this
end?
movie-
Government always has to cover up everything. They've got to make sure all loose ends are tied. Boom. Answered your question. What else you got, Ty?
What the freak does the cube do?
Oh, that I do not know.
Oh, and also, Jordan, what was that thing that she pulled off the Asian girl's neck and like they put in that jar at the end, the little black.
Also, why was the blind Asian girl at times just totally capable and just like crossing by
if you
herself in
listened
the rest of
earlier,
film? She
the
needs
guy
help.
said there's that because remember when they did the big twist, the big reveal that she was the like person. Well,
if you can call it a twist, yeah. Alex,
okay, but if you
Shrek or whatever.
if you listened earlier, the guy said that person was an AI, so she was an AI. Oh, boom! Mind explosion.
She said she was an AI.
I didn't even understand. I had to rewatch it 3 times to
No,
understand the reveal.
But she dies. She's
I had
not
to
an
I had to
AI.
rewatch that part 3
That
times.
would explain her acting.
She was going for
when the
wooden-
actress is actually
Worst
AI.
This is why
acting
she nailed it.
ever.
Jordan, explain to me this. I do not understand this. My biggest question is on IMDb, they have it listed as a drama, mystery, sci-fi. And nothing about this movie grips me dramatically.
Oh,
speaking.
everything Simon does. Are you kidding me? How?
Yeah, are you kidding? Simon the knife guy, I'm nervous every single time he's on the screen. He's like randomly holding her hostage and he's like, just trust me, it's just for everybody watching. And I'm like,
Only
what?
drama. Oh my gosh, yeah. The only drama is when the Asian face asks the guy, like, well, maybe we can't trust him. And then he changes. He completely changes. He's like,
No.
I can't remember what he said. He's like,
Yeah.
well, time to move on.
No,
Or,
Types, you know
I
what
don't
he
know if we
says
can
to
trust
her?
him.
Because she insults him and says, maybe you're the one we shouldn't trust. And then he gets all angry and he goes, he's like, I'll let that slide because you're a cripple. Like,
That was one of my favorite
yes.
lines.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness. Can I go into my 2 favorite? Oh, please. Oh, please.
Yeah, Jordan, please convince us why you like this movie so much and why we should take you seriously as a movie reviewer.
Maybe because
critic.
any movie about a game for your life is the greatest. So when they go into...
Would you just admit that Saw is probably a better film to your review right now? A much better film.
Oh, it's so good. No, because this one is so enjoyable. So my favorite part of this movie is easily Simon. Everything he does, like Cameron says, he just elevates this film. He makes it so much more stressful. He's running around with a knife and he's completely irrational. He just does the most crazy things. Totally reminds me of Cameron on Futro Quest. Just a total sociopath. And just like anybody and everybody, it just...
What changed? What changed? I don't understand.
When he
It's
saw
like-
himself die, he's like, I just saw my effing head get taken off. and then
Which then they never brought that call back and never had him stab
no,
her. Like, what
because
the fudge?
it was, remember they explained that too, Cameron. It's on an alternate timeline, and because he saw that, he made a change. He stabbed her this time. Because remember, he warned himself.
No.
He's like, don't trust the sea.
Yeah, oh my god.
That's the C word. Yeah, they dropped one of those in this movie. I honestly, you're right. I get what you're saying. Like, oh, if he heard himself say it, he would trust. But how many freaking Jerry's did he eat? I mean, this is more twisted than a Rick and Morty. Like, he ate how many Jerry's? Like, he has like 8 of his watches all over his armband. He's carrying.
Well, and how many girls did he
found-
stab too? Or
Oh my gosh.
But
Yeah.
I agree, Ty. It's like been one day, and all of a sudden he starts eating people, and I'm like, he can last one day.
Yeah, one day and he's like hungry. What a fat fudge, dude. He's already eating people. It reminds me of the second episode of Walking Dead, those farmers. It's like, how long have you been eating people? The pandemic started like 2 weeks ago. Like, what the fuck? You're already cannibalizing people?
We've been
Did you
doing
have
this
pigs or
before it
cows
all
or chickens to
started.
eat? Yeah, dude, it's like, didn't you have like loaves of bread to eat, you freaks? Like, you resorted to cannibalism in like 2 weeks. Holy cow. It's one day.
like the outbreak starts, like, oh shoot, we gotta start eating people.
Start eating the people, yeah. Start luring people into our home and eating them, storehouse them.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I love this movie so freaking much.
Oh, please continue, Jordan. You were telling us your 2 favorite things from this film.
Oh, I mean everything about it. I just can't point to a second thing. I love it all.
Jordan, real quick, you need to
can't-
clarify
you can't point to a
something.
second thing because
do you
there's not a
like-
second
Yeah,
thing.
do you ironically like this movie? Please enlighten me, because I really don't understand. I really don't.
Any movies about, I love movies about a game for your life, like a survival of the fittest. I love movies that can be so entertaining in just one location. Like, I love that it all takes place literally in this little square cube box, and it's so fun. It just reminds me of, Buried Alive with Ryan Reynolds. It reminds me of,
Also a big letdown, but
I enjoy it. I like
the
it.
The devil is like this as well.
the elevator.
I like The
No.
Devil.
I didn't mind that one. I thought that one was pretty fun for a single room caper thing.
Yeah, and this one, the best part is like each room has a different. It's like the gravity shifts. Like, okay, that's awesome. Let's do that. Like they go in a room and time changes. Like I said, they were doing this stuff before Christopher Nolan was doing it in his movies. So just saying.
Would you cut that out? Would you cut that out, Jordan? If you're comparing to Christopher Nolan, I mean, Christopher Nolan had movies before. What you keep referring to Christopher Nolan like okay, he hadn't made Inception before this.
Exactly.
But
Interstellar.
He still made like I mean, didn't he made freaking
He made
Prestige
Insomnia
before
before
this,
this.
The
Or
following-
Insomnia? Did
No, I
he
think
make
it was
Following was before.
Prestige is
The
after?
Following and Insomnia before this.
Yeah, no, this is pretty old time.
Jordan's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure Christopher Nolan took all of his sci-fi inspiration from this movie. This
Wouldn't surprise me
here.
one bit.
Maybe if they had a better film score, it would have done better. Like Christopher
Are you
Nolan
kidding me?
films.
That's another thing I absolutely love. The music reminds me of Silent Hill. I love it. Like after Jerry died, that music. I was like, oh, this is the greatest soundtrack ever. I
It
love
did
it.
fit the film very well.
Yes.
I'll give you that. Just comparing it to a Christopher Nolan film, like where it's always like really intense music all the time.
My goodness. Anything else you wanted to throw in, Jordan, that you love so much about this movie?
Jerry, of course. And his name is Jerry.
Jerry.
Like, what could be a more perfect name for this character who has a lisp? And he's like...
Has a watch that his wife gave him. Yeah.
And my roommate pointed out, if you look, when he puts the two watches back to back, the serial numbers are actually different.
I don't know how having a knife made him all powerful too. Everyone's like, "Whoa, he's got a knife!" Like, "Oh my gosh, just don't hurt me, okay?" It's like,
Well, I mean, fist to knife. You brought...
Any unhinged person with a knife while you're completely unarmed,
Yeah.
well, like as a
would
group,
argue.
there's like 5 of. I don't know, like.
Nah, I
Yeah,
mean,
gotta
even
ta-
if you
someone's
rushed a
gotta
big
ta- someone's
fat
gotta
guy,
take
yeah,
one
you
for
go
the
swinging,
team.
He'd cut you, and you don't know when you're getting out of there. One cut could be fatal.
And I wouldn't want to go up
out
against
of
him. Oh my gosh, he's scary.
You guys are sissies.
Clinton's like, I would have stormed him. I would have stopped him. I would have stopped that terrorist.
Always storm. That's what you have to do. Always storm them.
Everybody rush! And then Clinton's the only one that rushes and gets pistol whipped. So he's like, ah! Everybody, I said rush. And we're like, oh, you didn't count to 3 or anything.
Or a knife directly in the eye. Every time he gets hit, he's like, ah!
Oh man, that knife in the eye. That was brutal.
Yes, dude. His yells, his acting. Every line he says, like I just laugh hysterically. Like when he's
real quick, to your credit, Clinton, you said it was one day. I mean, he did come with gray hair at one point, so we are to assume that he traveled multiple years. But again, the idea was that he was feasting on human flesh. How did he survive a knife stab to the eye? I don't know how you'd survive something like that. I guess he bandaged his own head. How did it not get infected? We don't know. I guess he pissed in his own eye. Like, what did he do to disinfect that crap? So many questions.
My favorite part was when he's afraid of dying by that like spinny whatever that was, and all of a sudden he's like,
yeah, what was that? The fourth dimensional being, or was it the?
Oh,
the
I like that. There you go.
The cube.
Yeah, the Tesseract.
I don't know.
So I love when he's like, get the F out of my way. He's like running to the exit. Like, you should really get to see his character. I love it.
Or how oh my gosh, okay, sorry. Are we getting into favorite things? We should probably all do that real quick because I'm going to start ripping tonight. Okay, I'm going to rip.
Yeah, well, it is 8:00, Clinton.
I could sleep in a little bit. Yeah.
All right.
I feel bad for all of Clinton's patients, just as a disclaimer right now. If he's operating on you, just know your doctor had very little sleep last night, so you may want to increase that insurance, all right? So we have got 2 of our
Spoken
favorite
like a
things.
true
I
insurance
can say 2
salesman.
of my favorite things. Like I said, as I watched this, I was like, Jordan loves this movie. Got it. Like, that's one of my favorite things about it. Jordan loves it.
I wish I watched it with
Second
you.
favorite thing? Oh, my gosh. I don't think you do. My second favorite thing, geez, I don't know. I'm making up one. The freak guy that goes crazy. He was the best part of the movie.
Simon.
But I have so many questions. I don't know why he stabbed the girl he was looking for as a private investigator. That makes you officially the worst private investigator of all time. Where you literally find the girl that you were hired to find and just proceed to stab her multiple times. I was sent here
With no
to find you.
explanation.
Oh, my gosh, you found me, and then just
Hugs
proceeds to
him.
stabs him. Like,
She
stabs
she
him.
hugs
Ty,
him
he
and
was
he just starts
hungry,
shanking
okay?
her in the back.
What
He
a
was
twist!
hungry.
Eat her, did
What a twist!
Yeah, I was hired to find you, and she hugs him, and then he
Yeah,
just
Clinton,
proceeds
you're
to
not
stab
wrong. I definitely didn't see that coming. I don't think any of the actors or directors or anyone else in the film saw it coming either.
Maybe the actor was improvising. Maybe Simon was just like, "Hey, I got an idea. Like, what if I just start stabbing the girl we come to look for?" And it's like,
And the
doesn't make
director's
sense,
like,
just
roll with
anything
it,
else in
roll
this
with it.
movie. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so that's it. That's all I can point to. Is Simon was my favorite part of this movie, and all the characters so cringeworthy. If you get off on cringe, like this is the movie
Yes,
for you. Okay,
this
like,
is the
if you love
perfect cringe movie.
Oh, this movie cringe so bad. Okay. So anyway, that's all I can say about good about it. Cameron, you go.
So, on my list of good things, the only thing I wrote was Simon Knife Man.
Dude, he makes this movie.
Accurate.
That was the only thing I could genuinely. I had written down the randomness of it, and then also the CGI/cinematography. Like there was just a bunch of random close-ups that I was like, why the F is it
Yes,
so close?
yes.
Oh,
It
yeah,
gets so
the eyeball.
uncomfortably tight.
The eyeball
Way
at the
close.
beginning.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just like, why? But then, like, I'm just like, well, I can't even, like, normally you can say, oh, it's so bad, it's funny, but, like, that literally just genuinely was just terrible. And I'm just like, whoever's the director of, like, cinematography for this film needs to be fired and murdered.
I know there's so many times.
The staging,
Yeah, so close.
they were like, you had people in the foreground and the background, and it was just so uncomfortable. Like, I was like, why are the people in the back? They weren't doing anything. They didn't add anything to the scene. It was just like, we're in a cube. You have two characters in the foreground talking, and the characters in the background just sitting there doing nothing. And I was like, what is going on here? It's so crazy. Cameron, what else did you
Yeah,
like?
what else, Cameron?
Yeah, that's it.
All right, nitpicks.
Oh, nitpicks. Talk about, like, glaring plot holes and questions. Oh my gosh. Okay, I don't understand what this thing even is. Is this a maximum security prison? Is this what happens when Android or Apple comes out with a new phone? Do they just throw all the laziest employees in this thing? Everyone worked for Izod or Izon or whatever it was, and everyone was linked somehow, but they didn't explain how they were all linked. Like, they all had ties to Izon. Are we just to assume that Izon... You said the government, Jordan.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Izon isn't a government. They're probably just like some powerful corporation.
Oh,
and they,
yeah, my bad.
Can murder people at whim. Like, I don't understand. Every single plot twist, quote unquote, was like a stupid reveal. They would say it, and it's like, it's more bonkers than what I was believing before it happened. Like, what I believed was just as insane as the plot twist, and neither of them made sense.
Okay,
There's no
also
through line.
what was painful was like, okay, I understood like the time difference on certain things, but there was like a couple times where they just straight up just did random slow-mo. Then I'm like, did Zack Snyder get a hold of this film for like 5 minutes and then just left? Like, what is happening? I was so confused at why they were just like walking
For
in
an
slow-mo.
indie thriller
And
too, you can do like low budget deaths like off screen, but like this movie drags for 42 minutes with one death, and then 42 minutes later you finally have your next one, and that was my biggest gripe. I was like, this movie should have, like, I mean, you have the concept of time on your side. They could have had like millions of the same character dying. I would have loved to see that.
Oh, interesting. Yeah,
That would have
pretty
been
Like-
better.
like you-
Watch Jerry
that would have
be
been so
murdered
better.
over and over again.
Yeah. Like, and even if you didn't show it, just like, you know, they alluded to it at the end, which was fine, but I was like, you needed to have something early on. Like, you know what I would have loved? Have seen, like, one character show up in one dimension,
Oh,
have, like,
and then run
one
into another.
attitude toward the people, then disappears, and then comes back, and he's, like, totally innocent, right?
Ah, yeah.
So, like, have the crazy guy, and then maybe even have him kill himself. I know this would have totally changed the mood of the movie, but it's like, there was nothing for 40 minutes, and that's why this movie feels so repetitive. It's like, how many times are you going to show you climbing in and out of the box opening and going through the whole... Like, we get it. You have moved from one box to another. It's the same effing box. You have a set design that's very cheap and inexpensive. Use the heck out of it, but use the sci-fi element. Do fun things. Like, they tried to do a few things where they're like, oh, look, time's moving differently here. Look at this. Gravity's shifting different here. It's like, You literally alluded to the fact that like different people were there and he saw himself. Like you could have done.
I know the
much
gravity
more of that.
and the speed thing added 0 to the film.
Zero intensity.
interesting.
And it added a lot of things that were very questionable. It's like, so the guy is a video game programmer and you're able to turn video games into real life? Like, you're just not really sticking
So
with the
what
whole
means-
concept.
yeah.
Yeah. There's a
Is it a
concept. Just
computer?
stick with it. Yeah.
Also,
You
okay,
created a
the
fourth
scene where the guy
dimensional
was trying to
being?
kill himself, I was actually laughing so hard when he's like, "You gotta help me, I'm slipping." And then also right after they get him down or whatever, when he's like trying to get the information out of him, and like everyone's like, "You're gonna hurt him," and he's like smashing, like almost like smashing his head. Like,
He literally
I'm
tried
so
to kill
confused.
himself. My favorite is when he handcuffs him. When he handcuffs himself to the ladder.
exactly.
And then she's like, "We have to get him out of here." And he goes, "Oh, you mean this key?" And then he swallows the fetching key. Who the freak does that? And he literally makes the sound. He's like, "Oh," like swallows the small key.
No, my favorite part is when she's
And then as she's climbing out, he reaches for her.
grabs,
He's like, "Ah!"
he grabs her foot and she's like, "Let go of me!" And he's like,
No, and the worst, most cringeworthy is as the slow moving wall of, I don't know, the fourth dimension or whatever this thing is moving.
It's time
at him.
catching up, Ty.
He keeps his legs extended. He doesn't bother to tuck his legs in. He keeps them extended while they like fry or whatever.
No,
it is that's
it's.
going
Did
on
you
with
see?
them.
They were getting
crash.
older, so that was time folding in on
Why
itself.
wouldn't he have pulled his legs in at the very least? Pulled his legs up. He had his feet fully extended, and he just sat there like dangling his feet in this mysterious barrier. Why wouldn't you hug them to your chest, you freak? Like he just sits there and he's just sitting there. He's like, "Ah, my gosh!" It's like pull your legs in, tuck your legs, you freak. My goodness. Just so painful to watch someone fully extend their legs into pain. They're like, "Oh, this is going to hurt." He says it too.
Did you have any written down, Cameron? Any nitpicks?
Yeah, well, one of them was the scene about with the handcuffs, just the CGI, the cinematography, the random slow-mo, the randomness of everything, and just my biggest pet peeve overall was just the existence of the Asian girl. I thought she added nothing to the plot the entire movie, and they just randomly like, "She's the smartest of them all. She created this or whatever." I'm like,
Did she create it though?
the
What did she do?
fuck?
She was like the philanthropist. What was she again?
She was the
She was
the
like,
AI. I told you.
I
Yeah,
don't
but what does
understand
that
how she
mean?
was AI. Didn't he rumor that it was the one geeky kid that sleeps with the red dress girl? He said that it's rumored that she's AI, right? But it's
Also, that
she
scene
wasn't
is so
AI.
extremely uncomfortable. I've never been so strangely uncomfortable in my life.
Fourth dimensional man. Holy cow! No, that was so lame. I do not understand. You're not my type.
And the
Neither
logic
are
behind
you.
that.
Like what?
But this is a dream. This isn't real. What? Because that's how romance works. What the fudge?
dude, my goodness.
Cameron, get on board. Come on.
Clearly, that's what I need to do. I just need to walk up to a girl and say, "You're not my type," and then we'll just start making out.
So I have a nitpick. So what is the puzzle at the end? They have numbers, and she says it's the countdown of when it ends, and then she survives somehow by jumping through
That's
and then appears and gets shot in the head by the Izon people.
I understood it
What?
as that was the exact time that the cube imploded on itself. So if she tried
Right.
to change, like jump out of it, then that's
How did she
like
jump out of the cube?
well,
How did she
When
jump
she
out
got
of
time
the
it.
cube?
When Ty, she went
through the hole in the ground that she had been through many
yeah.
times
But since
before?
everything was collapsing, that time she jumped through it at work.
Yeah.
What? What?
Why did she go through the entire experiment just to
You
get
guys are
shot?
accepting this like it just made sense. Clint, I know you're a doctor, but that didn't make any
Well,
sense.
no, think about it. So the cube, you go through the portal and you're back in the cube. You go through the portal, you're back in the cube. But what if the cube, you go through the portal and the cube collapses? Then you can't go back to the cube because it's imploded on itself. It's not there anymore.
Oh, what up? Oh, look at that, Ty.
So the logical decision is that you go right back to your body that's in a plastic bag on
You
water.
just use an antonym. You use the word logical when describing this movie.
It's
It doesn't
nonsense. It's nonsense.
Follow
Nonsense.
logic. It's nonsensical. I have so many more questions. I don't understand what everyone's offense was. How can they kidnap all these people at random and throw them in here? You're talking about people that
Money,
built
man.
This thing?
You can do anything with money.
No, you can't. You can deplatform people. You can disappear them, socially speaking. But kidnapping people and putting him in a scientific experiment and then pulling him out of said experiment and shooting him in the head. No, probably not. Not with that many people and witnesses.
We got to get into our favorite quotes.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Favorite quotes. What an oxymoron.
One of mine is when he's like, or I don't remember who said it, he's like, I think I'm gonna puke. And then it's just so random. And then also when what's his name was saying like who he was, he's like, yeah, right, and I'm Santa Claus.
Yes.
Like, what the fuck?
He said, I wrote that one down. Wait, I got them all right here.
The other one that I was just like, that is so illogical was when I think it was her, and he's like, can I tell you a secret? And she's like, sure, I love secrets. I was just like, is this how people talk?
Yes.
Like, this is what an AI is like trying to become human.
This
dude.
writing, like you truly have to be gifted to write something this horrendous. It's so good. Like when the kid's like, "Whoa," and then he's like, and they're like, "What's the matter?" It's the wall. It wiggled. and Cameron, he says, "I'm a consultant," and the other guy's like, "Yeah, and I'm Santa Claus." And then
I'm Santa Claus.
That kid bothered me.
Yeah,
so
dude, his
much.
voice.
As
Oh my
if,
gosh,
as if
it's so
a
funny.
consultant is like, as if being a consultant is some like rare job. I'm like, I feel like that's a pretty common job.
Yeah, that's why it was funny. And then, well, just okay. And then the part that made me laugh so hard every time I watched this was when he's like, when he meets the second Jerry, and he's like, but what about the senile old woman? What about the blind chick? What about that thing that chopped you up into jelly freaking meat, Jerry? I love that quote so freaking much. Oh my gosh.
The one other one I only wrote down because I already quoted my two other ones about every time I say your name, Jerry, it makes my mouth water. Freaking Simon, dude, he's great. And then he said you gotta love these parallel universes was one of his other lines. I was like, what a psycho.
Yeah, there were a couple I wrote down.
One day, 24 hours, he literally
Better
lost.
start eating people.
Went from private investigator to psychotic murderer.
Just a quick thing. I was looking up on the trivia yesterday, about it, and actually, in the extended edition, Kate is told that her time in the cube was 6 minutes and 59 seconds. And if you look at the watch, it's always around like 6 o'clock. So it's saying that like the 6:06:59 is actually like 6 o'clock, 6 minutes and 59 seconds.
I'm confused. What are you saying?
What's the significance of that?
Is that the Book of Revelations? Like
Because that's the number that's written on. That's the number that's written on all of the walls. The 6:06:59. Remember?
Right. Yeah, she says at the very end, she's like, "Oh, that's when she looks at Jerry's watches, and they all
Exactly. That's when
Like,
and that's when she can jump through the hole. Oh, what up, Ty? Get or Shrek?
No, but again, how did she figure out that she could jump through the hole? How did she know what would happen?
Yeah, because
if she jumped through the hole?
that picture of that guy that you were like, who the fudge is this? When you sent me an image of that, that's the guy. That's the theorist, the guy with all the numbers all over his body.
Quantum physicist. Yeah.
Yeah, he figured it out, Ty, right before he died.
How did she figure it out from him? She wrote down these numbers and figured out it was the time, but how did she know that just simply jumping through the square hole that she's been through a million times before that day would do anything different? Nothing's explained is what I'm getting at here, guys.
Well, she was hired by the government, so I'm sure they are. I mean,
You
whoever.
keep saying government. There is no government. It is Izon, okay? Izon. Any company with an I in front of it, like, jeez.
You don't think the government isn't in
products.
Izon's pockets, Ty? Okay.
This goes all the way to the top.
This goes all the way.
Son of a bitch.
Okay, I got a couple more quotes.
Oh, I have some too. Yeah. You go first.
Okay, so Simon just saw his head get lobbed off by that thing, whatever that was, the wall coming in. And then the kid goes over to open it up again because he's like, oh, this can't be real. Like, Jerry's like, maybe you want to stand off to the side a little bit in case that thing goes. And then the guy turns to him and goes, F off, Jerry. I love that.
Oh, yeah. I'm just blind, not retarded. I think
No,
was the
I
line
wrote that
she
one down
used.
too. That was funny.
Yeah, that was quite the line, lady. Just disabled person. I guess she's able to use that word, you know?
Wait, Clinton, you had a quote? Which
yeah,
one was it?
this movie definitely want to get made in
Let's see.
2020.
You said most of them. Like, one I thought was really funny. It's like, gravity shifted. Wow. Like, so understated.
Shifted.
Unreal. And then what they're doing the big reveals. They're like, you didn't think you should mention this before? And I loved it when the guy's like, well, I signed a confidentiality agreement.
Oh my god.
Okay, I love when he's like, Simon, everything Simon says is amazing. But he's like, I think we're in some government basement so pumped full of LSD. I just love that quote.
The reveals too, but like you said, like I didn't understand when. Oh, I can't remember what I was gonna say. Dang it! Oh, whatever. Keep moving on. This movie is so frustrating. I hate.
Oh, I love when the old lady says, "Maybe we're in hell."
And I thought to myself, no, I am watching this movie.
Oh, sorry. I did just remember Jerry explaining the cube. It didn't make any sense. I mean, I get that he's like trying to show you, like, oh, okay, so a theoretical 1 point is 1 point, then the 2-dimensional is a flat line, 3-dimensional, and then 4-dimensional is something beyond that. And it's this tesseract cube thing, and it's like, is it though? Is that a 4th dimensional shape? Like, I don't know anything about 4th dimension. I get that it's supposed to be on another plane that we can't see. Some people, think it's like a spirituality thing.
Well, it's a theoretical construct, and it's of time.
Maybe it's time.
And everything else bending in on itself. Oh, mind blown.
I know that some people theorize that time is the 4th dimension, but yeah, again, this movie is not interesting enough.
It's so good. It's a masterpiece.
Even Ty will agree that Project Almanac is better than this.
Oh, don't say it, Ty.
Yeah.
No.
Just about any movie is better than this.
Okay, and then the last quote I got is, all of a sudden the kid, when he leans out the thing and Simon's got a knife to the girl, he's like, just play along with it. And then all of a sudden the kid like pops through the hole and then pops out the other side. And when he disappears, he goes, "Some hero." And then she's like, "I have that effect on men."
She does say that. That's right. Oh my gosh.
I'm glad you haven't lost your sense of humor.
Yeah, she also says, like, she's like, "Oh, what is all this quantum mechanics stuff?" She goes, "I wish I was smarter."
Yes, I love that part. Oh my gosh. I wish I was smarter. So many good quotes.
When he said, "I'm glad you still have your sense of humor," it made me think of the dodgeball when he's like, "I like a girl with personality," with like the air quotes around it.
That's what I love about you. You got a personality.
You got a personality. Okay, do we recommend this movie? 100% yes.
Absolutely
It's a
not.
no for me. Don't
There's a
watch
very
this movie.
there's a very
100%
specific scenario where I would like recommend this movie is if I have a bunch of friends like over and then I'm like, "Hey, I'll be right back. I'm just gonna start the movie," and then I just ditch them, and so they have to like be stuck watching this stupid movie. I'll be like, who turned this on? What is this? Like,
Right, and then follow up with your friends later if they're still your friends and they answer your phone call. Be like, "How far did you guys get into it before you turned it off?" Or I don't know, maybe watch it again. I don't know.
it's so bad.
And then they get
I would
so
not recommend
immersed
this
into the movie. Oh, yeah.
I would not recommend this movie.
Oh, yeah, I would.
No, and I think the only redeeming thing about this podcast is that we're about to reveal our 10 favorite films to us. So, any last comments about Hypercube 2 before we put this movie to rest?
It is a beautiful masterpiece.
Oh my gosh.
And I can't wait to talk about Cube and Cube Zero.
Fire.
Yep. You've rescinded your privileges of choosing Hidden Movie Gem movies.
I had a lot of fun watching it, Jordan. I thought it was really great.
See?
I was more excited to talk about it than I
Yeah,
was watching it.
It's so fun to talk about, and I force people to watch this all the time. And when I watch it with them, they try to explain.
You're a bad friend.
They tried to explain to me like understand what it is that we just watched. I love it. It's so much fun.
You're still a terrible friend.
It's amazing.
You're a bad police officer. You should have pursued computer science.
Well, Ty, when you texted me saying, "I can't believe I have 30 minutes more of this," I just kept thinking of Neil Breen. I cannot believe I'm watching this movie.
I cannot believe
I can't
believe
believe
you made me watch Hypercube.
I cannot
Cube 2.
believe.
Jordan,
we
how
did
could you
this.
have made me watch this movie?
Well, and now that you guys have given me something, now I'm giving you your top 10 list. So we'll start with Clinton because he's got to get off right now. So Clinton, start us off. We'll just have you reveal all 10, starting at 11, what didn't make the cut, and then go up.
Make your top 10 list and start with 11.
It's just fun. I just like to hear what didn't make the cut. What was like so good, but it was like not
All right.
quite good enough.
Here we go. Number 11, Braveheart.
Oh, ouch.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
that's a good
Yeah,
one.
number 10, Joker.
Is that the Joaquin Phoenix one?
Yeah, I thought it was so good.
Yes.
Oh, Interesting.
I agree. It's in my top 25. Ty's doesn't understand it.
All right. Number 9.
What?
Number 9, I have John Wick 3.
Yes.
And
I
then
love it.
About Time, Scott Pilgrim versus the World,
Heck yeah.
Starship Troopers,
Yes.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, The Conjuring, Revenant, Pan's Labyrinth, and my number 1, Captain Fantastic.
No way.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Clinton, I'm very impressed with your movies. I'm surprised Waiting for Guffman wasn't in there.
I was just talking to
Yeah.
Alex. I was like, do I like Waiting for Guffman more than Braveheart?
Yeah, it's hard to equate these movies. They have like nothing in
Yeah.
common with each other, so it's really hard to know. I'm with you, dude.
This is just your top 10, so it's like if
Disclaimer,
a day came...
we're not suggesting these are the greatest films of all time, but this is just
No.
Desert Island. These would be the 10 movies I take with me. I get it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
You won't be judged too harshly, Clinton. 'Cause I was surprised at some of those picks, but that's cool that you have a lot of great movies in there. A lot of great ones.
Good night.
This is Dr. Westover signing out.
All right, Clinton.
Later, dudes.
Peace, brother.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Let's do one at a time, Cameron. So start with 11. What didn't make the cut, man?
My number 11 is Interstellar.
Oh,
not good enough to be a 10.
Chris Nolan. That was a great feeling I had leaving the theater, I gotta tell you. But I have not seen that movie since the movie theater, so that says a lot.
You need to rewatch it. It holds up so
I'm
much.
sure it does. I'm terrified to watch it, though, because
One of the best soundtracks of all time.
Hans Zimmer, man. All right. Jordan, how about you? Your number, or is it my turn?
Yeah.
My number 11 is 127 hours.
Oh my gosh, now I have to change my list.
See, I figured you wouldn't be thinking of movies, and you're hearing my movie list, and you're gonna be like, "Oh wait, let me just change something real quick." This is another reason why I thought it'd be a good idea if we all just did them all at once, because I don't want to hear you changing or editing your movies based on my list. Like, obviously, I've given a lot of thought into this, but Jordan forgot about movies that existed. So glad to see that you're working on it right now. Jordan, what's your number 11? that
Oh
didn't
no. I'm just like, now I want to change all mine.
make it? Danny Boyle.
Too bad,
film
Jordan.
starring
Just
James
no.
Franco. He won
Just
Best
freaking
Actor.
say, nerd.
I'm gonna do mine at 11. Yeah, 127 hours too. I'm changing it.
No, boo!
See,
Boo!
Cameron,
I'm not
hear
telling
me
you
out.
any of the
This is
rest of mine.
exactly what I was afraid of, and you guys were like, "You don't make any sense, Ty." And I was like, "This is probably going to happen."
Okay, no,
Stick
Jordan,
with
tell
what
us
you
your
have.
actual number 11.
Yeah.
Jordan has to go first.
Yeah.
He's telling all 10 of his first.
No, Jordan, just
It's
Jordan,
too late.
on the
I've already
consistent-
changed my list.
You're going first. I don't give a F, dude. You're not getting any other movies.
Oh my gosh.
My goodness, Jordan.
Jordan,
Well,
you're
do you
going
want me to
first.
just read
10 through-
my
10 through
original one?
Yeah,
Yes.
read the original one. The
Yes.
honor code system here, Jordan.
I had Princess Bride, but I changed it to 127 hours.
Okay, number 10, 10 through 1. 10 through 1, monkey boy.
No, we can go in order. Just keep it the same, you freak.
No, I don't want to go in order. No,
Cameron's
I'm not-
afraid I'm
I
going
don't
to keep
trust
changing
Jordan.
them all.
Honestly, yeah. I really
Fine.
do.
Okay, I'll go.
Okay.
We'll start
All right,
from,
Jordan,
because
start
Clinton was oldest,
10.
and we'll go down the list. All right. Second was Catch Me If You Can.
Wait, second what? What do you mean?
Sorry,
Second,
number
like,
10.
Just say number 10.
Yeah.
Gosh, dang. 8.
Catch Me If You Can, a Spielberg, huh?
Yeah, I just think it's a masterpiece, but I just changed it now to Sunshine.
What is happening right now?
I don't know.
Jordan literally
Stop.
heard Danny Boyle from 127 Hours and goes, "Oh, Slumdog Millionaire, Sunshine," and all three Danny Boyle films like are his top. Recency bias much? Holy crap!
I know,
What do you
dude.
think of Danny
I
Boyle
am
when you were
so
thinking of your top
indecisive, dude. Well, okay, just so 1 through 9 are solid.
I don't care.
No, I'm just
1
saying
through-
1 through 9 are solid.
10? I assure you guys, the rest of my list is set in stone.
But
I've just changed 11 and 10 and 12 actually favorite movies of all time.
no, it's just
So
yeah.
far-
I'm serious. 10 and 11 have been the hardest ones for me. That's
go.
why I wanted
You're
to change
0
it.
for 3 right now, Jordan, for consistency. So I just want you to.
I'm
think
just
about
saying that those were the hardest ones for me. But I look solid number
Hardest
9.
ones for you. You didn't even think of 127 hours until I said it.
I know. I got a little excited. Because I was like, what can be number 10? And then when you said that, I was like, oh my gosh, that's my number 10. So
Oh my gosh. Everything you just said is literally my favorite thing to do too.
Go, Jordan.
next, number 9 is Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. Number 8 is Requiem for a Dream. It was between that and
Have
Trains.
that movie on there. I knew you'd have that movie.
I know,
on
it's
there.
Ty's favorite actor and Ty's favorite director. It's got Jared Leto and I can't remember the director, Darren Aronofsky.
Guy's so far up his own butt he can smell his own farts, dude.
Yep, so good. Okay, and then number 7, The Departed. Number 6, Punch Drunk Love. Number 5, Memories of Murder. Sorry, Cameron, it's better than Zodiac. Number
Memories
4.
of Murder. I'll have to see this movie now, dude.
Not even close. You're tripping. You're smoking cocaine, dude. It's not better than Zodiac.
And then number 4, Heat. Number 3, Prisoners. Number 2, Dawn of the Dead, Zack Snyder's version. Sorry, George A. Romero, I love you, but Zack Snyder.
Unbelievable. How's
Number 1, Cube. No, not Cube 2, Hypercube. Blade Runner.
Cubed? Oh, excuse me.
Excuse me,
Just have
sorry.
to make a quick edit here.
Let me change that really quick. No, it's always been Blade Runner. No, not always. In high school, it was Army of Darkness.
That is hilarious. That is quite a list, Jordan.
Yep.
What a list. All right, so my top 10 movie list, and again, caveat, these are just movies that I love, not necessarily what I believe are the greatest films of all time, but these are my favorite films. So 11 was 127 Hours, which really upset everyone. 10 is Mad Max Fury Road from George Miller. An amazing film. I went and saw it twice in the theater. After I watched it the day one, I went back and watched it again. I was just like,
I cannot wait to do that on the podcast. So good.
I don't believe what I just watched. Yeah, I was like, this is such an
I
amazing
cannot believe what I'm just seeing.
film. I can't. Cameron, have you seen? Oh wait, I'll do this afterwards. I want to know which movies you've seen and what haven't. Number 9 is Swiss Army Man, directed by Daniels, two guys named Daniel, and I love this movie. We reviewed it on the podcast. Number 8, creeping in, is Nightcrawler by Dan Gilroy. Number 7 is Jurassic Park by Steven Spielberg. Number 6 is Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2, if I may add 2. But if not, I will just add
Cheater.
1. That's fine. I'll take 1. But I think it's a Volume 1 and Volume 2. It's a movie. It's a Part 1 and Part 2, or Quentin
Nope.
Tarantino's epic revenge
Doesn't
drama.
count.
I'll watch the first one then. That's fine.
One movie.
I'll take the first one. That's fine. Do love the second one, and it's not a different movie. Number 5, Back to the Future from Robert Zemeckis. Number 4, The Princess Bride from Rob Reiner's film. Number 3, The Social Network from David Fincher.
Oh, so good.
Number 2, It's a Wonderful Life, Frank Capra's. It's not necessarily a Christmas movie, even though there's a lot of elements of Christmas in it. It's an amazing movie
It's a
about
Christmas movie.
life. It's not only a Christmas movie, but somehow the sentimental and just about everything about life. And number 1 is The Dark Knight from Christopher Nolan.
What? Oh, wow.
Greatest film of all time. By far. Hands down.
Wow.
I would watch that movie back to back. After watching it, watch it again. So those are my top favorite movies of all time. A lot of action films, some weird indie films, but those are them. And I would love, Jordan, real quick disclaimer, I've already made a top 30 list, so it'd be fun to go through and do 20 to, or 11 to 20 and 20 to 30, maybe later on or something.
We'll talk about what our next list is
Oh
going to
yeah,
be.
later, or top 10 TV shows or whatever. Yeah.
Every 50th episode, we'll do something fun.
Yeah. But like I said, I have a whole list now because there were so many things left on the cutting room
Yes.
floor. It pains me to say
Oh.
it. Like, I almost want to read off my 11 through 21 to give myself some grace because some people are like, "Well, you didn't add this movie." I'm like,
Oh,
"I
yeah.
know."
No, there's so many
I
movies
know.
that I was just like dying not putting on my list. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's hard because we take this very seriously.
Yeah, well, as you were mentioning
Listeners
yours,
don't
Ty,
know.
I was like, oh, crap, I wanted that one on my list too. Yeah, it's hard.
Those are the movies that I chose for my 10 favorite films of all time.
I did not expect Dark Knight to be at the number 1.
Is that right?
Not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely.
I gotta say, after I
surprised.
watched that movie blew me away. Absolutely blew me away. Still to this day, it's a wonder that it got made the way it did. And Christopher
Ty,
Nolan-
was the first time you ever watched it in the Gibbs house?
No, I watched it in the movie
I
theater.
watched it in the movie
watched
theater, too.
I think I saw it twice in the movie theater. I saw it with Rich and Kelly actually took us. I think.
That's the only way to watch Christopher Nolan movies are in the theater.
Yeah,
Only
they're
way.
a spectacle, and it came out in 2008, I think it was, and it just blew me away. I mean, I was at the right age to watch that, and I was like, yeah. I literally remember sitting in the back of the car while we were all driving, and I was just like, I can't think about anything else other than the movie. Like it was it left such a mark on me, and so did Tenet, and so did Interstellar. Like Nolan has my number for sure. So. But Dark Knight by far takes the cake. Cameron, how about you? I think I know like half of your list.
It's because
I won't
half
say
of my
anything.
list
Yeah, I'm
is
just
Jake
letting you know
Gyllenhaal.
that I know it, and I'll yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, so obviously, Interstellar didn't make the cut, and my number 10 is Prisoners. Such a masterpiece.
Denis
And
Villeneuve.
and disclaimer, Ty said his are his 10 favorite movies, not necessarily the best 10 movies of all time. These are the best 10 movies of all time. Goodness, right here. So number 10 is Prisoners. Number 9 is Get Out. Number 8, Donnie Darko. Number 7, Hunt for the Wilder People. Number 6, Nightcrawler. Number 5, Shutter Island. Ty, shush your mouth. Number 4, The Dark Knight. Number 3, Inglourious Baby. Let's go. Number 2, the greatest rom-com of all time, About Time. And then the best movie has ever existed on this planet is Zodiac, baby.
Called it. I literally mouthed it for those of you on the podcast. I literally mouthed it. I knew exactly what he was going to say.
Well, he shared
Look
it
at
with
that,
us like a
Cameron.
billion times, though.
Right, but you have 4 different movies starring Jake Gyllenhaal on your list.
Yeah.
Cameron.
In my top 10. Is it a coincidence that he's the best actor of all time?
Got a bit of a gay crush. Nothing wrong with being gay.
A bit of a Brokeback Mountain crush on him.
Oh.
I'm still never going to watch that movie ever. I refuse.
You will. You will.
You
You'll
will.
be like,
Once you
"Oh,
go through all his movies, you'll be like, I need more Jake Gyllenhaal.
I need my fix.
No, he'll just creep into his house and install cameras and watch him real time. All right, everybody. While Grant's doing his thing, write us a review. 5 stars, please. Everybody, write us an email, futuromovies@gmail.com. Leave us your top 10 lists. What movies did we leave out? What movies would you have put on your top favorite movies of all time?
We didn't
It's a
leave
very
out
good
anything,
question.
at least not on my
let
list,
us know
'cause
if it
the
gave
10
you as
best
much
films of all time.
anxiety as it did all of us, because we take this very seriously. Like, somehow we feel like we're going to be judged for what our favorite 10 movies are. So, but anyway, leave us a 5-star review, leave us a comment, share, and send to somebody that you think could benefit from listening to this podcast.
Check us out on Spotify.
I'm hungry, Jerry. I'm hungry, Jerry. I'm fetching starving.
Just saying your name makes my mouth water. Oh, Jerry.
Yowza.
are you
The
hungry?
ratings on Futro podcasts are just doubled.
Everybody, thanks for tuning in. This is Future Hidden Movie Gems. And we've got one last thing. Grant Mickle is on the podcast to share his top 10 favorite movies of all time. Hit us, Grant.
Yeah, so I only have 3 right now. But
Amateur hour.
so right now, the
Bionicle.
only ones I could think.
Dude, that is such a good movie. Oh my gosh.
Binonicles. That stupid one where they have to find this light mask and they put it on.
Yeah.
Dude, the light mask, don't
Dude,
even
that
trash
drove
talk
me
it. You
back.
know the PC game was even better.
Cameron, let me just tell you, it doesn't hold up. The video game was
That's
better.
hilarious, dude.
No, I know the movie's the greatest thing of all time.
The actual toy was better than the movie. Toy doesn't even hold up, and it was a better toy than it was a movie. Yikes.
That's funny. Just from what I could think of was Prisoners is number 3, Tenet is
Yeah,
number
boy.
2, and Dark Knight is number 1.
Oh, 2
No,
Christopher
holy
Nolan
crap.
movies. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See,
dude,
I love
Interstellar's
Nolan
in the
too.
top 10 for sure.
Yeah.
So
There was only
That's
2
crazy,
movies
Grant. You're a
repeated
big
by
Nolan
3
fan.
or more of us, and it was Dark Knight, Prisoners, and I think it was the only 2. Dude, freaking both those masterpieces. What a coincidence! 2 of Cameron's top 10. Oh,
I can't
shit.
have Tenet as number 1 because I feel like Tenet is more. It's just weird. It's like this weird, like, I don't love watching it, but I love thinking about it afterwards. But like,
Grant's like sitting
Well,
there, he's like, oh my gosh, just let's get to the philosophy.
well, no, because like I've
afterwards.
seen it like 4 or 5 times now.
Is that
and, like,
right?
I love watching it, but at the same time, it's like it's not like it's kind of slower. Like there's good action in it, but I definitely enjoy watching The Dark Knight a lot more, you know. And so I don't know, just like the whole idea and concepts of Tenet is just mind blowing. So it's definitely up there, but yeah,
Awesome.
So that's mine.
Hey, great top 3 list,
it.
man. I think it's so fun that Nolan occupies like top 2 of the top 3. That's pretty
Oh, yeah.
impressive, dude. He's got your number
Not to
2.
mention that Jake Gyllenhaal made it again. Of course, Jake Gyllenhaal made it.
Oh yeah, dude,
What a
Prisoners
master.
is so good.
Well, we both had Nightcrawler, right, Cameron, and then Dark Knight. So we both had 2 movies that we favored.
Well, and you both had a David Fincher movie. You got Zodiac and you got Social Network.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, not to mention fetching. He made 7 too, which is in
Well,
my
and we
top
both.
50.
And I think all three of us had Tarantino, right? Jordan, did you have a Tarantino or not?
No, I want. Inglorious almost made my list, but it was there's just too many good ones.
Yeah, again. Too many,
Almost.
And well, it's because I knew Cameron would have it on his list, so I'm like, oh, I'll just.
Cheater.
I just got to go back and refer to the very fact that I start with 11. I was like, my 11 is 127. I was like, oh, that's my 11 too. Scratch out what he had written. I was like, okay, we probably need to change the way we're about to do this. I love it. Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. This is Futro Hidden Movie Gems signing out. Peace.
Bye.
Peace.